to another video. In this video, we'll be looking at the identity policy. That means so far now we have implemented so many policies now. So any traffic which is going to the internet is just assigned to a particular operating system or a host or an IP address, but it has not been assigned to a particular user. So in this one, we will be implementing the identity policies where anyone is trying to go to the internet or anywhere, those traffic will be assigned with a tag username. So we'll look into that one. So for that one, I will go back to my this one FMC. First thing is that we need to add the Active Directory to our FMC first. So I will go to the settings, go to the integration, and go to the realms. And click on new realms and give a name, like I will give a name accessible, or give a name description as an Active Directory, and type should be AD. If you have a LDAP, so you select the LDAP, but I have the AD, so I will select the AD. And domain name is cisco.com, that's my domain name. And username, I will using the administrator account. And the password. Just click somewhere here and this button will be enabled. Just click on test AD join. AD join failed, so don't worry about that one. So just go to the FMC first and click on expert and ping cisco.com. See that it's not allowing, so say sudo ping cisco.com and enter the password, admin password. So it's pinging to 20.1.1.2, that's good. And I will go back to my Windows server. This is my AD. I will log into this one. So in Windows machine, by default ping is disabled. So I will come here and I will try to ping the FMC. If I say that ping 10.1.1.4, yep, I'm getting the reply. So once you get the reply, that should be fine. Don't worry about that AD join fail. So if I click again one more time, still it says the fail. Don't worry about it. So now use the directory username, use the same one, and the password, same password. So now this username I'm using the administrator, which is has all the privileges for it. So if you like, you can create your own account which has the domain level privileges. So now DC will be Cisco, comma. You can say that organization OU equal to Cisco. Use the whole domain. DC equal to Cisco, comma DC equal to com. So OU is your organization unit, so I'm using the Cisco, the whole domain. DC is your domain name and .com, and I will same copy paste here and just select the member, or you can select the unique member, don't worry about it, and click on OK. So now I will go ahead to my Windows server and I will create the users. So I don't have any user for now. I'll go to my tools, Active Directory users and computer. Click on Cisco, click on users, and I will say that I want to add a new user, and the user will be user1, and this was your username, user1@cisco.com, and password will be and just select on password never expires, click on next, finish. Now we'll add in one more user, that is user 2. And finish. So my users are ready now. So I will go back to my FMC now. You can see that once I created my domain, it is asking me to add Active Directory. So I will click on add, and I will say that 20.1.1.2, or you can use cisco.com and click on test. You see that the connection has been succeeded. So click on OK and OK. And now once that is been done, go to the Realm user download, click on download users and group, and click on save. Right, so once this has been saved, so I would just want to show you something. You see that there is a status bar here, so you have to turn on that one. So once you turn on, so it will enable your Active Directory, and you see that download button is been enabled. So click on that one and click on yes. You see that users or group download task to queue. See that download. It is trying to download the users group now. So 0 groups and 0 users, that means it did not detect our Active Directory. So we have to wait for some time and it will automatically detect that one. Alright, so I have looked into that one. So I have made some one mistake. So that mistake is CN. So instead of CN, I have used the OU. So you have to use this one. So CN equal to users, DC equal to cisco.com. Then if I go to my user download and I click on this download users and group, it shows me the users over here. So for now, I will just look for my domain users and I will look for my domain admins. So these are the two things. I want to download the users and I will click on save. And I will enable that one. And now I will download the users once again. Click on OK. And here it should show that groups and users have been downloaded. Now you see that 2 groups and 4 users have been downloaded. So we are good to go now. Identity policies. So go to my device. Sorry, policies. Go to identity policy. Add a new policy. I want to give a name as INDT. Click on save. For now, I just want to check that any traffic going from inside to outside, I just want to detect the users. That's all for now. I will click on add rule and I will match the traffic. I will say that rule 1, traffic coming from inside going to the outside. And network, it can be any, ports, it can be any. And if I go to, I think I have to go more down. See that rearms and settings, that's good. I'll click on rearms and settings here and I will select my Active Directory, that is Disable AD. And use authentication if passive or VPN identity cannot be established. So you have 2 types of identification. So first I will click add here. So one is passive and one is active authentication. So for active authentication, that means any user is not logged into a domain computer. It's then whenever it is trying to initiate a traffic to the outside, the FTD will provide a portal, captive portal, and in that portal it will enter the username and password. If that is being satisfied by the Active Directory, then the traffic will be allowed. So that's the active authentication. For now, we are looking for a passive authentication. Right, so I have created a rule. I will just match the traffic which is going from inside to outside. I just want to detect the user on that one and click on save. And one more thing to keep in mind, that in order to detect the user, you have to enable the discovery policy. So I will go to my discovery policy and cross check network discovery. Click on edit. Make sure that user is being checked. Okay, you have to make sure that one. Cancel, and I will go back to my access control policy now, and I will click on edit, and now I will attach this identity policy to my access control policy. So now, as we have seen in previously malware policy and the file policy, intrusion policy, we have assigned to the rule base. Now identity policy will be assigned to the policy base, total policy. It will apply to all the rules. So I will click on cancel. Here you will see that identity policy. So I will go back to 100 now. Okay, it's not coming. Right, so here you can see that identity policy. Click on that one and select the one which we have created and click on OK. So now my that identity policy has been attached. So I will click on save and I will deploy. Click on deploy, deployment. And click on deploy. So until that has been deployed, so we need a Windows 10 machine now. So this is my Windows 10 machine. So now this is not added in the domain. So what I can do is like I can go ahead and I can add this PC in my domain. So for that one, I will go in, log in into this one, and I will add this PC to my domain. So go to my this PC, right click, go to properties. Click on change settings and I will add this to. So before I make any change, so just need to check that whether it is trying to resolve that cisco.com or not. So if I say ping cisco.com, yep, it is pinging to 20.1.1.2. That's good. Then I will add to domain and I will say that cisco.com. Click on OK and it will prompt me for administrator and password. So I will say that administrator and password and click on OK. And now the PC will restart. Close and restart. Right, so let's go back to our FMC. Yep, it's still deploying and the PC is being restarted. So just give it a little time. Alright, so you can see that my policy has been deployed and my PC has been added to my domain. So now I will go ahead and I will use one at cisco.com and I will sign in. I'm using a domain user now. And I will try to go back to my analysis and I will go to my user and I will try whether the user has been detected or not. If not, I will generate the traffic. You see that it's a new user, so it's showing me that we are getting things ready. And now you see that I just signed in and the user has been detected, user 1. Now the reason why I have kept my Active Directory over here is that when I did my practice in the virtualization, when you keep your Active Directory over here, deploy your Active Directory over here, the traffic is going from this way and my FTD is not able to recognize the traffic or it does not able to recognize my user. So that's the reason I have kept deployed my Active Directory in my DMZ, so that whenever the sessions has been performed, login sessions, my FTD is able to detect the traffic and it is able to recognize that particular user. Right, so since now the user has been detected, so I'll go back to my Windows machine now. This is my PC. Yep, it's take a while. So I'll come back to my FMC. You see that user has been detected. So that means our identity policy is being successful. Now, since our identity policy is being successful, now you can go ahead and create a policy based on users now. So if I go to my access control policy, and I will click on edit here, and I will add a new rule now, and I will keep it at the top. So before I create a role, I will just generate some traffic. So just to make sure that traffic is being assigned with the users or not, I will just perform some activities over here. I'll just go to google.com. Right, so you can see that on the start page, there's some traffic is being already generated. So I'll go back to my analysis. I will say that active sessions. Now you can see that discovered users user one, and I will just click on that one if you want to see more traffic. So what I will go ahead and I will generate the traffic more so that the events will be generated. Right, so my Google page is up and running. So I will go back to my analysis and I will say check the events now. You can see that authentication is no authentication because it's a passive authentication. Right, so now let me check whether I can see a user over here. See that now Kerberos LDAP application. I cannot see the user, but I can see that the client is and the application protocol is Kerberos and LDAP. Right, so now you can create the policies based on the users. Now if I go to access control policy, I'll click on edit. And I will add one rule, specific rule. I will say that it should be rule for user one. So what I'm going to do is that in this user, I will block the Facebook for user one. I will say that's insert above rule one, any traffic going from inside to outside. And if I see that network is any, should be any. And now if I click on users, you see that there is no exclamatory or warning marks. If I click on Syslable now, I can click on domain users, or I can click on user one or user two. I will click on user one. And now application, I just want to block the Facebook for now. So what I can say is that Facebook, let me search for it. Right, you see that Facebook, add to rules, Facebook apps, other applications. And now inspect, I don't want to inspect anything. Logins, log at the end of the connection, and that should be good. Click on add. So make sure that this is a specific rule, should be on the top. Otherwise, the second rule says that any traffic going from inside to outside, the traffic will be allowed. So make sure the specific rules always stays on the top, and click on save. And I will deploy this policy and I will check whether the traffic is been blocked or not. So this is a virtualization, so verification might not be possible, so keep in mind. But this is how the process is to create and block the traffic for a particular user. Right, so I'll go ahead and I will deploy this one. So once this has been deployed, I will be back. Alright, so my policy has been deployed. So I will go ahead and I will try to access the Facebook. This is a user one. And I will try to log in, open the page. Yep, I'm able to log in. So what I will do, I will just erase the history. Clear. Right, so now we'll try once again. So we have blocked the application, but it's not blocking the web app. Yep. So now if I go back to my analysis and I will check the user activity. So as I said, in the virtualization, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work, but this is the process. So this is a user activity, and I will go back to events now to check the events has been generated. So now at this point, any traffic going from inside to outside, the tag user tag has been assigned here. So I have more visibility on this one now. So this is the first traffic, I think. So that's going to the Facebook. And you see that it's going on the 443. And one more reason I think that because since this is an encrypted traffic, my Ftd is not able to read that traffic. So that's the reason it has been allowed. I think so. Okay, so yeah. So that's how you configure the identity policies. See you in the next video soon.